Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is July 30th, 2024. If you could please subscribe to my channel, I would truly appreciate it. There's so much happening, a lot of emotional and intuitive energy. We are in Leo season, and Venus is transiting in Leo just a little while longer. But we've got a lot of, we've got Neptune at that last degree of the zodiac. And I think that's to me a focal point because people are exhausted and very drained. And that to me is very prevalent. It will remain at this degree through September 4th, and it'll return on and off at the last degree of Pisces in 2025. Chiron, the wounded healer, retrograded over the weekend at 23 degrees and 32 minutes of the cardinal fire sign of Aries. And that is just a degree off from the world point. And in that, it's setting off where Pluto retrograded in April of 2019. And that was the month when the south node of karma, Saturn, was also in Capricorn. The south node was very close to Pluto, and they retrograded just a degree off from where Saturn and Pluto met up on January 12th, 2020, and forever changed our world. And I remember thinking that was a foreshadowing of the Epic of Capricorn, but also that was when that horrible fire occurred in Notre Dame, which is a very old structure that took 582 years to build, and is a symbol of the Catholic Church in, I would say Ireland, in France, obviously, and that's Neptune there for you, and again. Much renovation and repair. Luckily, in that case, the structure did not come down, but we have since seen many structures, many lives, many ways of doing things come down since Saturn and Pluto did meet up in 2020. And now we're in Leo season. Venus is going to be in Leo a little while longer. That's a fire sign. But I'm feeling more the vulnerability. Chiron in Aries is your vulnerability around self, around maybe how you appear, how you seem. You take things personally. That's getting pronounced. And we've got, let's see, we're building up to Mercury retrograde. Mercury entered Virgo on July 25th. It will re-enter the sign of Leo on August 14th, and it will station direct on August 29th at 21 degrees and 24 minutes of the fixed fire sign of Leo. So we're having it retrograde into signs. Right now, I already feel like it's retrograde because it rules the sign of Virgo, but it also rules Gemini, where both Mars, which is the planet of action, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, are transiting. And Mercury loves being in Virgo, and it loves being in Gemini because it rules both signs. So when the Mercury does retrograde, which it's going to do late on August 4th, Pacific time, or early in the morning on August 5th Eastern time. And so it's going to be, I think, around 11 something. I have to look it up. I'm going to do another video later in the week because there's also a new moon on the 4th at 12 degrees of Leo. So we have a new moon. We've got, Mercury retrograding, and we've got a lot happening. So that's going to be a big time. And Venus is going to enter Virgo on the day of the new moon as well, which, Venus is in its fall position. It doesn't love being in Virgo, but there's more of an attention to detail and fine tuning. I've noticed that people that are very good makeup artists or hairdressers, a lot of them have Virgo energy. I used to know a woman that was excellent with makeup that had Mercury, Venus and Virgo rather, and because they're very, very detailed, they see things very, specifics, the details. It's all in the details, which is not my motto, but it's true. And so, but it's also imbuing the fact that this retrograde, reassessing, Gemini represents the mind, Mercury represents the mind, among other things. We've got Mars, going ahead, barreling ahead in the sign of Gemini, which is excellent for networking and gathering information and teaching and doing local trips and, having some fun, socializing. But as we get further into the month of August, we're going to be still in Mercury retrograde. Mercury returns to Leo on August 14th. And so when it ingresses back into Leo, it's going to have a different tone. Right now, it's about reassessing your thinking, your strategy, what you've been planning, what you've been doing. When it returns to Leo, and it will station direct on August 29th, and it'll be at 21 Leo, which will form a positive aspect to where Jupiter will retrograde on October 9th. Jupiter is going to retrograde at 21 degrees of Libra, and Mercury will station direct at 21 Leo. So they form a positive energy, how we could expand through learning and through also what makes you happy. Leo is the heart chakra. Leo is what makes your heart shine. It's what makes you shine. It's your passion. It's your joy. It's your children. It's your inner children. It's performing. It's having fun. It's a very creative fire sign. And so that's happening. And then Venus will be in Virgo through the end of the month as well, through the end of August. And then it's going to enter Libra on August 29th. So we've got the Mercury ruled energy of reassessment, reanalyzing things, reconsidering. My cat's crying, so he must really be taking this personally. And so that's an important thing to think about. But we also have, as we get more into the month of August, there's a lot of mutability. Venus is in a mutable earth sign of Virgo. Mars is in Gemini. Mars meets up with Jupiter on August 14th, which is the day that Mercury returns to Leo. And then we have, there's going to be a T-square with Venus. Mars is going to be conjunct Jupiter. They'll be separating. And then Saturn square Jupiter. So you've got Saturn, which is restrictions in Pisces. How can you structure that dream even though it feels impossible? How can you structure your habits to be, productive in your creativity? Pisces is the most creative water sign, and it's so intuitive. Venus in Virgo is finicky, but it also has a very good eye for helping you to perfect things and improve things. And Mercury in Virgo is also figuring out what can you improve, analyzing what can you do better, and trying to improve the process, which is the goal. But Saturn Jupiter square is also going to be a turning point for us in some way of what's working and what's not. And I think that Sun Uranus square is definitely going to bring sudden changes and unexpected events. And so this is big times, and the world is in mourning. Chiron at the world point, or just a degree off, is emphasizing our own fears that we are safe, perhaps, and that, we also, what we've gone through in the last several years, and, the Olympics on, seeing all these young athletes, they've been working all their lives on these dreams. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of countries are at war right now. It's a very terrible time. But these young people were training during a big time where we were on lockdown, all of these things. So it's just been a very painful time. And I am going to do a video on Friday more in depth about the new moon for sure, and about Mercury retrograding and all of these things. But I also want to mention, I think I didn't mention because I just did this video a second time with all the Gemini and the foreshadowing of Mercury retrograde. Bear in mind that Mercury entered its shadow on July 17th when it got to 21 degrees of Leo, where it stations direct on August 29th. It returns to Virgo on September 9th, and it leaves Virgo altogether on September 26th. So we'll have been in the sign of Virgo on and off for 2 months. When it retrogrades over the weekend on the 4th or the 5th, depending on where you are, it's also then Mars has more of a backwards tone, although Mars does retrograde in the beginning of December. So that's not when we want to initiate a new project, and it will be retrograde through February 25th. So unfortunately for all of us, we will be completing the year and beginning a new year with Mars retrograde. And so we've got how we're taking action. Mars meeting up with Jupiter on August 14th. That is an aspect of good luck, but it also could be people getting riled up and, not thinking about what they're saying. Be extra careful about, with all this mutability, there could be a lot of change, I feel. But there might be, for some of us, again, a reality check, like, well, you want to do this and that, but Saturn's saying, well, that's not totally realistic right now. Maybe in Pisces, you've been kind of not thinking clearly. I don't know. There is a lot of creativity if you can be flexible, because mutable signs and all these mutable signs in tandem could bring a lot of creativity. And so that's something to consider too. Maybe there are some more solutions. Mars and Jupiter meeting up in Gemini, which is the Lover's card in Tarot, options and choices. Maybe one thing's not working out, maybe there's another option. And then having Saturn square it, well, yeah, that can be tough, but it also might be helping to push you to make a practical choice. Venus opposing Saturn, well, likely there could be some endings in the process, but also a reality check of, I want this dream, I want something I love, but I need to make a shift in how I'm doing it. That's not a bad thing. It's just something that maybe some of us don't want to deal with right now. So a lot to consider. It's already feeling like Mercury retrograde, which will really become in effect directly on Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are. The Chiron station we're still feeling. So a lot of people had kind of a painful weekend or things got dug up for them, but this is an opportunity to heal. If you just bury it under the rug, you don't heal. That's Pluto also, right? And Chiron is setting off where Pluto was a few years ago. So good luck. I will be back soon. Start trying to do more videos if I can. I've just been feeling, like a lot of you, very exhausted, and giving myself some permission. Take care and thank you. Oh, I forgot to say it. Lata has a store, it's called Flower Power, in the East Village on East 9th Street between 1st and A. She started the store, she opened the store in March 6th of 1994, which is exactly when Saturn was in Pisces last. And it was also a time when there were a lot of people, there was a big heroin epidemic, and this is the Saturn return of her store. She's having a little bit of trouble because it's, in New York, that a lot of people have left and a lot of things are tough right now, and rent, etc. But she is somebody that's a healer. She represents all the highest vibration of Pisces and alternative medicine. I know that in the 90s she helped a lot of people, and I know she's helped a lot of people since the 90s, of course, but now a lot of people are struggling yet again with drugs, alcohol, anxiety, insomnia, depression, you name it. I'm sure most of us feel it in some way or another, or just a little bit of anxiety. And as we get more into August, we're going to feel some anxiety. Virgo is a very analytical sign. I have my moon in Virgo and my south node in Virgo. I can definitely get very caught up in, what's that song by Tom Petty? Most things I worry about never happen anyway. Well, remember that if you can. So listen, good luck. And check out Lata's store. I will put something on there in the community section. She sends homeopathic herbs and medicines all over the country, probably all over the world too. I don't know that for sure. And if you're in the New York area, or if you're visiting the best city in the world, go check out her store. And good luck, everybody. Take care. Let's heal each other.